All right.
All right, this is a
Whoops.
whoops.
Someone's watching me at the same time. So you want to stop that, or we'll have that terrible echo.
Is that
All
me?
right. Well, as long as it's not doing now, it's not a problem. So this is a citation issued on March 1st of this year on 135th Avenue, Wayland Township, County, State of Michigan. It's a speeding citation for an actual 62 and a 45. However, the officer chose to only write it as a 1 to 5 over. Mr. Carmen, you are here on this 1 to 5 over speeding citation to do one of three things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or two, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation to the court as to how or why this happened. Or three, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, fight the ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
The third option is to fight the ticket.
All right. Then what I'm going to ask you to do is raise your right hand the same way the deputy is going to raise his right hand. Swear or affirm any testimony you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Carmen, it makes a lot more sense for me to start with the officer. The deputy has the burden to establish to me why he issued the citation in the first place. But after that, you'll have an opportunity to either ask questions or testify on your own behalf. All right.
Yes, sir.
And with that, Deputy Borgic, you want to take yourself off mute and pick up the narrative somewhere where it makes sense and explain the issuing of this citation.
Yes, sir. I'm a certified radar operator in the state of Michigan. Prior to my tour of duty, my radar was found to be in proper working order. On 3/1 of 2023 at approximately 10:38 a.m. I was in Wayland Township on 135th Avenue near 7th Street when I activated my radar and got a reading of 62 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone. I made a traffic stop on that vehicle with vehicle plate of 3 NYE73. It was on a 2005 Ford passenger car, silver in color. The driver did identify himself with a Michigan driver's license as a Craig Robert Carmen, whose picture is on the other side. When asked why he was going that fast, he stated that he was on his way home from work. I issued a citation for speed for 50 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone. We had recently been getting complaints in the area of people well exceeding the speed limit, and that's why I was doing active patrol in that area. At this time, I have nothing further.
Were you stationary or moving?
I was moving.
All right, and then Mr. Carmen, what is it you'd like to say?
I would like to agree with that, but I was on my way home from work. I was speeding. Well, to be honest, I'm kind of confused right now. I don't know if I chose the right option because all I wanted to come in here and do is ask if the officer was willing to amend the charge to a 1 to 5 limited access highway. I don't know if I chose the right option for that, but
yeah, you chose the option to say, "Hey, I wasn't speeding. I want to fight this ticket."
yeah, no,
Usually that one would be number 2, where you say,
okay.
"Oh no, it's all my fault. I was speeding. Please, 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 can you give me the one with no points?" Yeah, so I think you meant number 2.
Yes.
Here's what I will explain is I can't change your ticket. All right. I'm judicial branch. I can decide what to do on your ticket, whether you were speeding or not speeding. The officer decides what ticket to give you. So your pitch that you're making to me is really a pitch that you would have made to the officer.
Okay.
You understand the difference there? That
separation
of powers. All right.
Yes, sir.
The officer already decided to not write you a ticket for 62. He only wrote you a ticket for 1 to 5 over. He could have wrote you for 17 miles over, but he wrote you for 1 to 5.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Anything further, Mr. Board?
No, Your Honor. believe that is a 1-point ticket, if I'm correct, based on the
It's a,
point system.
this is a 2-point.
Okay, are they eligible to take the driver improvement course? I'm not
Yes.
sure. Okay. Okay.
All right. So here's what I'm going to explain to you, Mr. Carmen, is the whole thing about points. Really, the only thing that happens here as far as the punishment is the fines and costs. The court doesn't give you points. The officer's not giving you points. Points don't come from us. They come from the Secretary of State. Court, Secretary of State, two different animals. But here's what I can tell you about points. First of all, they die a natural death every 2 years. They just sort of go away again. The other thing is, if you wanted to make this be a 0-point ticket, you can do that. I could explain to you how to do that. I just can't do it for you. But I'm assuming you want to know, you might want to write this down.
Okay, yes.
So on the Secretary of State of Michigan's website, they have something called the Basic Driver Improvement Course. All right, Basic Driver Improvement Course. It's essentially just a safe driving quiz on the computer. I don't think it'd be that hard for you. It does take time. Here are the rules for that. You can't be a CDL driver. You're not driving the big rigs, right?
No. No, sir.
You can't have more than 2 points on your license already. And I
Yep,
don't know
and
whether you keep getting tickets or not. That's something you know, not me. And 3, you can't have taken this course in the recent past to get rid of points. They don't let you sort of keep doing this. But if you meet all 3 of those criteria and you take that Basic Driver Improvement course, the carrot the Secretary of State gives you for doing it is they'll remove the points from any one moving violation, which is what this is. So you can go through the hoops to make this be no points. I just can't tell them don't give you points for it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And that's
So
that's why I was asking if that's why I wanted to ask the officer if he could change it to the 1 to 5 over the limited access highway, because I already have some points on my record, and yeah, that was why.
So I don't think you're going to be able to take that. So you sort of just have to wait those 2 years and then they'll go away again.
Okay.
All right. So, but you're all set for what we needed to do here today, unless what you wanted to do was contest your finding after the hearing of responsibility. You could appeal this to a formal hearing in front of the district court judges, but you must ask for that within 10 days of today's date, and that must be in writing. All right.
All right.
You're all set. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
And you're all set. You're not on my next one. Have a good day.
You too.
I'm just waiting for her audio to hook up.
Okay.
And there it is. All right, Miss Yeager, you able to hear us?
Yes.
This is a citation. It was issued on March 3rd of this year on 116th Avenue, Martin Township, Allegan County, State of Michigan. This is too fast for conditions involving an accident. Ma'am, you're here on this citation to do one of 3 things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or 2, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation for the court as to how or why this happened. Or 3, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, fight this ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
I would like to contest the citation.
All right. Then what I'm going to ask you to do is raise your right hand, same way the deputy is going to raise his right hand. You swear or affirm any testimony you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. It makes a lot more sense for me to start with the deputy. He has the burden to establish to me why he issued you a citation in the first place. But after that, you'd have an opportunity to either ask questions or testify on your own behalf. All right.
Okay.
And with that, Deputy, if you want to pick up the narrative somewhere where it makes sense and explain the issuing of this citation.
Yeah, so on March 3rd of this year, I got dispatched to the area of 116th Avenue near 6th Street for a rollover accident. I responded to the scene, and when I got to that area, I observed Miss Jaeger's vehicle overturned on the north side of the road. The road was pretty bad. It was slippery and icy and stuff. And she lost control, went off the road, and overturned her vehicle on the north side of the road. She was trapped in it, but she was able to get out of the vehicle with the assistance of fire and EMS.
All right. It's just one car, right?
Just one car, yep.
And Miss Yeager, what is it you'd like to tell me?
I was coming home from a basketball game and the roads had not been plowed and were very slushy. And I was only going 35 when I lost control of my car and I wasn't able to gain control and that's the road.
Okay. So I do want to explain something to you. I hate the way that this ticket is worded, but that's not our fault. That's the legislature. This ticket is not accusing you of speeding. You can get this ticket going 10 miles an hour. Essentially what it is you have a duty to maintain your vehicle on the roadway. So anytime your vehicle leaves the roadway, this is the ticket you get. The problem is we get this ticket all winter long here in Michigan. Road conditions and weather conditions are not a legal defense to this. The only legal defense to this is I didn't slide off the road. So essentially, you know, like I said, lots of people want to come in here and fight this and say, I wasn't speeding, I was going slow because it was nasty out. It's because you left the roadway is why you get this citation. So based upon the testimony at informal hearing, I would still find you responsible for this citation as it's written. Essentially what that means is you owe fines and costs to the court, but because you had a contested hearing, you also have a right to say, I don't agree with what just happened there. I want to go to formal hearing in front of the district court judges with the prosecutor's office. But to do that, you must ask for that formal hearing within 7 days of today's date, and you must do so in writing. Do you understand your rights on appeal?
Yes, I do.
All right. And we're all set for what we needed to do here today. I'm going to go ahead and release parties.
Just say something. Excuse me, I have a quick question. Was there any way to take responsibility to the ticket but not get any points on my license?
Well, here's what I can explain to you about that. We're not going to give you any points. Points don't come from the court. So the officer's not giving you points. I'm not giving you points. The only punishment you have with a ticket for the court is fines and costs. Now, are you going to get points for this? Yes, but that's a Secretary of State thing. Court, Secretary of State, two different animals. So for a ticket like this, you're going to get 2 points on your license. Now, here's what I can tell you about points since you're the last ticket and we got some time here. Points die a natural death every 2 years. They just sort of go away again. But there is also a way for you to get rid of your own points. I just can't do it for you, but I can explain to you how to do it. I'm assuming you're interested, right? All right, yes. You might want to write this down.
Okay.
So on the Secretary of State's website, right? So Michigan Secretary of State's website, they have something called the Basic Driver Improvement Course. Basic Driver Improvement Course. Essentially, it's a safe driving quiz. I don't think it's very hard. I think it just takes your time. Here are the rules. You can't be a CDL driver, right? You're not driving the big rigs. You can't be carrying more than 2 points on your license already. I don't know whether you have priors or for any other moving violations or not. And third, you can't have taken this test to get rid of points in the recent past. They don't let you sort of keep using this method. But if you go to the Secretary of State's website and you take that basic driver improvement course, the carrot that the Secretary of State gives you for doing that is they'll remove the points from any one moving violation, which is what this is. So there is a way for you to get it to be 0 points. I just can't tell them don't give you points on this because the court doesn't do the points. The court just does that fines and costs. All right.
That makes sense. Thank you.
You're all set for what we needed to do. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
Thank you.